Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are reading today chapter 9 and text 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. अवजानन्ति, बोलिए. अवजानन्ति माम मूढ़ा मानुषीम तनुम आश्रितम परम भावम अजानन्तो मम भूत महेश्वरम. अवजानन्ति माम मूढ़ा मानुषीं तनुम आश्रितं परम भावम अजानन्तो मम भूत महेश्वरम. What meanings? Avjananti, derived. Mama, me. Mudha, foolish man. Manusim, in a human form. Tanum, a body. Asitam, assuming. Param, transcendental. Bhavam, nature. Ajananta, not knowing. Mama, my. Bhuta, of everything that be. Maha Ishwaram, the supreme proprietor. Meaning, fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. एक बार आप बोलिए, मैं बोलूँगा पहले. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. Purport. From the other explanation of the previous verses in this chapter, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conducts the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be a human being. Yet, there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality, as is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Ishwar Param Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. There are many Ishwars, controllers, and one appears greater than another. In the ordinary management of affairs in the material world, we find some officer or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him there is a minister, above him there is a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many controllers, undoubtedly, both in the material and spiritual world, but Krishna is the supreme controller, and his body is Sachidanand, non-material. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Although he is not a common man, the foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. His body is called here Manusim, because he is acting like a human man. A friend of Arjuna's, a political involved in the battle of Kurukshetra, In so many ways, he is acting like an ordinary man, but actually his body is Satchidanand Vigraha, eternal bliss and knowledge absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also. Satchidanand Rupaya Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge. Gopala Tapni Upanishad 1.1. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tam ekam Govindam, you are Govinda, the pleasure of the senses and cows. Satchidanand Vigraha, and your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss and eternity. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, it is full of bliss and knowledge. There are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as an ordinary man. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but this conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Muda. For only foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, that he is the proprietor of everything that be, and that he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him. Nor do they know that the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is the master of material energy. As has been explained in several places, Maya Durutya. He claims that material energy, although very powerful, is under his control. And whoever surrenders unto him can get out of the control of this material energy. If a soul surrendered to the Krishna can get out of the influence of material energy, then how can the Supreme Lord, who conducts the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the whole cosmic nature, have a material body like us? So this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish persons, however, cannot conceive that the personality of Godhead Krishna, appearing just like an ordinary man, can be the controller of all the atoms and of the gigantic manifestation of the universal form. The biggest and the minutest are beyond their conception, so they cannot imagine that a form like that of a human being can simultaneously control the infinite and the minute. Actually, although he is controlling the infinite and finite, he is apart from all this manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his Yogam Aiswaram, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and the finite simultaneously, and that he can remain aloof from them. Although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears like a human being, can control the infinite and the finite. Those who are pure devotees accept this, for they know that the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they completely surrender into him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord. There are many controversies between the impersonalist and the personalist about the Lord appearance as a human being, but if we consult the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative text for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary man. Although he appeared on this earth as an ordinary man, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, When the sages headed by Shaunak inquired about the activities of the Krishna, they said, Kritavan kila karmani saha Raman Kesava Ati Mrityani Bhagavana Gudha Kapta Manusha. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead, along with Balram, played like a human being, and so masked, he performed many superhuman acts. Bhagavatam 1.1.20. The Lord appearance as a man bewilders the foolish. No human being could perform the wonderful acts that Krishna performed while he was present on this earth. When Krishna appeared before his father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with 4 hands, but after the prayers of the parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child. As stated in the Bhagavatam 10.3.46, Bhavu Prakrata Sisu, he became just like an ordinary child, an ordinary human being. Now here again, it is indicated that the Lord's appearance as an ordinary human being is one of the features of his transcendental body. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, it is stated that the Arjuna prayed to see the Krishna's form of 4 hands. Taineva Rupen Chatur Bhujen. After revealing this form, Krishna, when petitioned by Arjuna, again assumed his original human-like form, Manusham Rupam. These different features of the Supreme Lord are certainly not those of an ordinary human being. Some of those who deride Krishna and who are infected with the Mayavadi philosophy quote the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.21 to prove that Krishna is just an ordinary man. Aham sarveshu bhutesu bhut atma vastutah sada. The Supreme is present in every living entity. We should better take note of this particular verse from the Vaishnava Acharya like Jeev Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, instead of following the interpretation of unauthorized persons who deride Krishna. Jeev Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna in his plenary expansion as Paramatma is situated in the moving and non-moving entities as the super soul. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Arch Murti, the form of the Supreme Lord in temple, and does not respect other living entities is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple. There are 3 kinds of devotees of the Lord, and the neophytes is in the lowest stage. Neophyte devotees give more attention to the deity in the temple than to other devotees. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wants that this sort of mentality should be corrected. A devotee should see that because Krishna is present in everyone's hearts as Paramatma, everybody is the embodiment or the temple of the Supreme Lord. So, as one offers respect to the temple of the Lord, he should similarly properly respect each and everybody in which the Paramatma dwells. Everyone should therefore be given proper respect and should not be neglected. There are also many impersonalists who deride temple worship. They said that since God is everywhere, why should one restrict himself to the temple worship? But it is God everywhere, and he is not in the temple or in the deity. Although the personalist and impersonalist will fight with one another, as perfect devotees in the Krishna consciousness knows that Although Krishna is the Supreme Personality, He is all pervading, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Although His personal abode is Golok Vrindavan, and He is always staying there by His different manifestations of energy and by His plenary expansion, He is present everywhere in all parts of the material and spiritual creation. Om Agyan Trimanadasya Jnananjan Shalakya Chachurmilitam Aina Tasmai Sri Gurve Namah Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapinan Bhutale Swam Rup Katam Dadate Sabantikam Bandeham Sri Gu Sivtalam Sri Gun Vaishtamancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Segunotam Pitam Sajivam Savdetam Savdutam Parajan Saitam Krishna Chatam Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Shaigalta Visaka Vintat He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopes Gopika Khan Radha Ka Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vinda Manusri Vrishabhan Se Pranam Harpriye Vancha Kalpatubas के पास इंद्वचा पतितनाम पावने वैस्ते गुणगुणवा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So here in this text, one word is Muda is very prominent here actually. So Muda means foolish person actually. Foolish, those who are commenting without having the proper knowledge, they are just as animals or less than animals. They are equivalent as an ass, means donkey. He is called Muda. So, Avijananti means dried at me, at Krishna. That any person who does not believe in God, he must be either a madman or foolish man, number one. Any person who does not believe in God, there is no reason that we cannot believe in God. There is every reason. So suppose if you are saying that I don't believe in God, but who has given you this power to say that I don't believe in God? You are speaking, I don't believe in God. Because speaking power is because of the Lord Krishna actually. Moving this body is because of Lord Krishna. To see this word actually, this is the power of Lord Krishna actually, given by the Lord Krishna. So we are not authorized to say that actually I don't believe in God actually. One has to believe Lord Krishna actually. But as soon as there is something, you cannot speak, anything stop. So if some person doesn't stop speaking, he's lost everything actually. He can't, it is just as a stone actually. So he has given this speaking, this Lord has given the speaking power. Then how dare to say that I don't believe in God? Everything is depending upon the God actually. This nature, this light, this sun, the moon, this rain season, all depends on the Lord actually. It means that, it doesn't mean that power has come automatically. No. The power of speaking, power to see, power to hear, they are not coming automatically. They are coming because of the Lord Krishna. If these powers are withdrawn, speaking power or just sight-seeing power, listening power, it means this body will become as a stone actually. You can't act properly. Then if you are not able to listen, not able to see the things properly, not able to speak, then what is the meaning of this body? This body is nothing actually. This is because of Lord Krishna actually. So, who has given you the speaking power that you are denying that I don't believe in God actually? The Lord has given the power actually. Therefore, as an atheist or unbeliever, you must be first class foolish. Those who are not believing the Lord actually, they are the first class mudas or the foolish actually. There is no reason that one can deny the existence of God. One cannot deny the existence of God actually. It is very simple reason that who has given you the power to talk, who if withdraws the power from you, then what is your value? If you are not able to speak, if your mind doesn't work, then there is no value actually. This very power of speaking is a proof that there is a greatest authority who gives you this everything actually. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person, he knows that everything whatever I have got is not under my control. Whatever the Krishna is given to us, our intelligence, listening power, speaking power, this physical strength actually, these are not under my control. Is there any control? No. So this is very important actually. Who is controller? What I am feeling? I am simply using it. The powers given by the Lord Krishna, we are using it actually. This is my hand. I am working. But if the power of working immediately withdrawn, it is paralyzed. Have you got any power to revive this working power of this hand? No, you have not. One hand will work, another hand will stop. Who stopped this? This is because of the power of Lord Krishna. These things are to be thought. How can I deny? There is something if I don't believe in God. If I don't believe in God actually, there is something other actually. But I must believe some power beyond me which is controlling me at every step. Either it call a God or anything, nature, but there is a controlling power. You have to admit actually. How can we deny it? Therefore, anyone who denies the existence of God, he is a foolish man. He is not very intelligent man. No intelligent man will deny. The man who is intelligent actually, he will see actually this human body is working actually automatically because of Lord Krishna, not automatically. Every power is given by Lord Krishna actually. The human body, this is because of the Lord Krishna and the soul inside the body actually. We are the part and parcel of Lord Krishna, and as soon as this power is withdrawn, power of withdrawn means this connection between this soul and super soul is withdrawn actually, the body stops working, it becomes dead, it has no value. So this we have to value actually, there is the existence of God actually. So the Krishna says, Abjananti mam muda manusam tam asrim. Krishna is saying here because he was present on this earth just like a human being with some supernatural power. Why he has mentioned on this text actually? Because he was present on this earth as a supernatural power. But mostly 99% of the people, they do not recognize him that he is a supreme power. Supreme personality of Godhead. Param Bhavam Ajananta, because they have no eyes to see this. To feel that this Supreme Personality, this Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and He is the controller, we have to engage in His devotional service actually. When we are engaged in devotional service, our senses are purified. Our senses are purified, then we are able to know that yes, there is the existence of God. How can we recognize God? Some natural power, evidence of authorities, scriptural evidence. Because whatever we know about the God, it is because of our senior acharyas and scriptures actually. We read this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam actually, and there are many literature also. These things are required. So, for Krishna is so far as Krishna is concerned, every authority is accepted him as God. And when he was present, his activities were superhuman. And from the evidence of the Vedic literature, he is God. Then, in spite of all these evidences, if you don't believe him, then it must be considered that asram bhavam, that I shall not believe whatever evidence you give and whatever I mean to say, activities you may show, I will never believe you as God. Finished. Means they must have a power to see, power to feel the Lord Krishna that comes from the engaging one in the devotional service actually. Beside that, one must have the eyes to see God also. God cannot be seen with these imperfect senses. So the whole bhakti process, bhakti yoga, is the process of purifying the senses to understand what is God, what is spirit, what is soul. It requires sarvopadi vinirmukti tadaparvatena nirmalam. Simply, this bhakti yoga is the process of purifying. As soon as you purify your power of seeing, power of hearing, power of tasting, power of touching, all these, we have got our senses to taste, to acquire knowledge. But if senses are blunt, then we cannot understand what is God. But therefore, you require regulative principle to understand what is God. Regulative principle must be undertaken. And the easiest regulative principle in this age is chanting of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Yeah. This is the regulative principle. If you regularly chant with devotion, without any offense, then this very simple process will help you to purify your senses, and you will appreciate the presence of God, and God consciousness, Krishna consciousness will develop in you. So this is by engaging yourself in the devotion service, association of devotees, association of pure devotees, pure acharyas, then your senses will develop and you will be able to believe that there is existence of God actually. Hare Krishna.